this is about to shock the side-by-side market.
And what I really want to find out is how they've built this thing to make life easier for the average UTV user that also maintains their own vehicles and wants to stay out in the field as long as possible.
All right, this is awesome, guys. Like, really, you know Toyota, you know the quality. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
And I want to introduce the new Scion side-by-side. It uses conventional parts off of existing Toyota cars.
I mean, I've been a Toyota fan for a long time. My family drives Toyota. I've owned a couple Tacomas in the past.
What did they do different from everybody else out there in the marketplace? And how is that an advantage to guys like you and I that actually put our dollar bills on the table and buy these things? Let's see what the answer is from the chief engineer.
My name's Don Federico. I'm the chief engineer of this product. This is a Scion 01 concept. How about we do a walk around? Let's start here. Very big tires, 35-inch, 4 corners of 26-inch suspension travel. That's best in class. Ground clearance with these big tires, we have 17 inches. That's also best in class. One of the concepts we pulled off here was we wanted to use as many parts from our Toyota parts bin as possible. So, for example, the brake rotors are off a Camry, the calipers are off a GR Yaris, really big brakes, lots of capacity there. The hub bearings are off a Highlander, so obviously we've had built-in quality, dependability, and reliability. Really strong, fully welded cage. That was our goal. We want to provide safety to our customers. Why don't we walk around and take a look at the powertrain? This is really where the story begins. One of our best off-the-shelf parts is our electrified powertrains. It's what we do. We're the best in the world. This powertrain is out of our Tacoma. It's a 2.4 liter turbo. We call it a one-motor hybrid, so there's an electric motor packaged between the 8-speed transmission and the engine. So that gives us a certain amount of EV range. We call it silent mode. Also a ton of horsepower, over 300 horse, over 450 foot-pounds of torque. And really this concept was developed to show off our powertrains. We know in the side-by-side segment, more and more horsepower is coming, 100 horsepower increase in the last 10 years. We think now these are really in the automotive space. So this is just one powertrain that we could package of many that would be off the shelf for Toyota. As we walk around here, we package the same battery that we use in our hybrid Tacoma. It's packaged right here underneath the spare tire. It's over 1.5 kilowatts. It's AC cooled, so we'll have power on demand no matter what the conditions are. It's a sealed battery, so you don't have to worry about mud, dust, water, snow, ice. One of our big concepts was to develop a platform. Anytime we do anything at Toyota, we want to use it as much as possible so we can invest in the tooling, spread that cost out and pass it along to our customers. So what you see here on the bottom is a very stiff spine. That's typically not done in the side-by-side segment. We're using rectangular tubing, which is quite rigid. That gives us the strength that we want to then bolt a very, very strong, fully welded cage on. The strength to weight ratio of this cage is much higher than what we've seen from the competition. That lends itself to having a much higher safety in the event that you have an unfortunate rollover. We are actually designed this to FIA and SCORE standards. So if you want to race this, you don't have to go out and buy a new cage, you don't have to bolt on a new cage, you're ready to go. No belts, really, really high durability. The engine itself is developed to a commercial standard, which is a higher level of durability for us. You have a torque converter, so low speed torque is excellent. Low RPMs, we make power, our max power at 2,400 RPMs, much, much different than our competitors, so it's quite quiet even when you're going full bore. Should we shoot a little bit in the cabin?
Yes.
Let's do it. Go ahead. So in the cabin here, you see traditional race seats, and you'll recognize some of the switch gear. Again, that's part of the strategy, is to use as many parts as off the shelf as possible, reducing that cost and investment. We want it to be ready for the features that we know side-by-side users use. So we have comms, switch, we'd have a pumper, a lot of auxiliary switching for accessory lighting, radio. Everyone wants a loud sound system. We're ready to go. Since we have a large battery, you can see we have AC here. So power your campsite, keep a refrigerator going while you're out on the trail. One of the challenges of having so much suspension travel is obviously your axle shafts. So these axle shafts are a plunging type, so you have quite a bit of stroke in the axle shaft itself. They can actually flex up to 45 degrees. It's what gives us the ability to have up to 26 inches of suspension travel. Yeah, when you're pushing over 300 horsepower and 450 foot-pounds of torque and 35-inch tires, that's the strength we need to ensure that you're never left stranded on the trail.
Yeah, trust me on that.
Full underbody skid plating. We know these take a high level of abuse. Boat-sided, so you're gonna have clearance. We want it to be nimble, agile, fast. We partnered with a company called Makina Labs. If you look at that roof, that's a sheet metal roof. Has the look of a stamped part, like you might see in our Tundra tailgate here, but actually that's not a stamping. It's actually made by drawing the steel and using opposing rollers to give you shape. It's really cool technology that we wanted to display here. So you can do that without any tooling, low volume type stuff. For more information, you can visit Toyota.com and look for the press release for the Scion 01 concept.